So my name is Amber Neher, and I am the advisor for the Worry Way Back and Adult Returning Student programs here at Wayne State. So Worry Way Back, really quick, is a debt forgiveness program here at Wayne State where we can forgive up to $1,500 of debt for students who have been away from the university for 2 years or more. They also need to have a GPA of a 2.0 or higher. Um, so I work directly with those students to help them be successful when they return. But really, I'm the point person for any adult returning students. So if you identify as an adult student and have questions about really anything on campus, I'm your go-to person. So we're going to go over more of what I can do for you in this presentation. So a little bit about me. I've been here at Wayne State since 2018. Before that, I was at another local university for about 5 years, and I was at a couple other places before that. But I've been working pretty much exclusively with adults, or which I guess traditionally known as non-traditional students, since 2010. So pretty much all of my professional experience has been with adults who don't meet that traditional criteria as a college student. I have a master's degree from the University of Michigan in student access and success. And then I also went to CMU for my undergraduate degree. I live in Royal Oak and I have a family. I'm from Ferndale, so I'm local, and I'm really excited to help this community. So my goal here as your advisor is to help you complete your bachelor's degree with as few obstacles as possible. So I'm somewhere in between an academic advisor and success coach, but really I'm here to serve you in what makes you unique as an adult student and just as a student in general. So I just wanted to quickly go over a couple of things that you might find characterize you as an adult student. So you have a lot of priorities outside the classroom, different than maybe an 18-year-old, although not all 18-year-olds. You have work going on, you have kids, you have volunteer experiences, maybe you're taking care of some of your parents. There's a lot going on, and your life is not just a classroom. And nor should it be. So I want to help you manage those priorities so you can be successful in all of them. You likely also have valuable real-world experience. So that's professional experience. Maybe you've been working in the field you're studying. Maybe you've been working in that field for 10, 12 plus years, and now are just coming back to finish the degree. So I recognize that experience, and I think that's amazing that you're coming to share that with your classmates. You also have real-world experience socially. So you're a different person socially than you were many years ago when maybe you first started. And those are all things that are going to be an asset to you in the classroom and help you be successful. You may also have complicated financial situations. That could be in terms of financial aid, or maybe personally as well, and just managing the finances to pay for school. Sometimes when we come back to when we first started school, when we were younger, we didn't really understand the ramifications of the financial aid that we were taking advantage of. Or maybe you didn't manage that appropriately because of a variety of reasons. Maybe you just didn't understand, you didn't have the right guidance. Any number of things could be at play there, but it's all very complicated, and we want to help you untangle that so you can move forward. And you probably have a variety of motives to graduate. I hear a lot of students tell me, I just need that piece of paper, like it's a dirty little secret. And it's not. That's why a lot of you are here, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you are completing your degree, you're going to have a variety of experiences in the classroom, general education requirements, things like that, that are going to have a lot of value added. And that's important to recognize as you're moving through the program, but there's nothing wrong with your goal being graduation, just moving through. We certainly understand that, and that's what we want to help you do, is to graduate. And I've alluded to this earlier, but you're a different person than you were when you were 18, or 25 or 40, or whenever the last time you took classes was. You've grown a lot professionally, personally, and we recognize that, and again, want to support you through that. And finally, you're not going to be the only adult student on campus. I hear folks come to me and say that, I'm prepared to be, the only person who's 50 years old in my class. And that's just not the case. The majority of students across the nation are what we used to call, or traditionally call, non-traditional, older students. So you're not going to necessarily be the oldest student in your class, whether that's a virtual class as we move through the pandemic, or even physically on campus. So you're going to see a variety of ages in the class. And that experience is what makes the classroom such a diverse and rich place to learn. Yeah, here's the next page. So I put together this graphic that's an outline of what we'll be going through today. We're going to touch on each of these boxes just briefly about some of the things I can do to help you be successful while you're here. So when you work with me, you'll be invited to and learn more about our growing adult student community here at Wayne State. So this is a population, we really care about you. We want to help you be successful and steer you toward the resource that you might not know exists, or kind of revamp the resource that we have to be more useful to you. So here's some stats from, this is specifically to our Warrior Way Back program, but they really are reflective of our larger adult community. So the average person in our program is 39. So we're not working again solely with young 20-somethings. Folks have been away for an average of 8 years. Usually part-time students because we have other things going on. So 6 to 7 credits a semester. Average starting GPA of a 2.39. So we aren't necessarily students with 4.0. So we are all students that didn't earn a GPA the first time around or the second time around. 60% are high financial need. That comes from our financial aid FAFSA information. 73% of our community is Black, and 67% are senior level students. So you aren't all just students who are really close to graduation. Some of you are earlier in the pipeline, and that's okay too. I also invite all of you to our adult students oriented events. These are all virtual right now, which is great. We have 2 different kinds of events: the Tuesday Talks, which we've been running for over a year now. So those are the second Tuesday evening of each month from 5 to 7 p.m. We usually have a guest speaker from another department. Usually we have financial aid come every semester because that's one that folks like to hear a lot about. We've also had different things like stress management, career resources, career services. And we're always open to suggestions on that too. So if there's a department you'd just like to learn more about, let me know and I can try to set something up for a Tuesday talk. And then the Friday chats, that's what we're in right now. Those are a little bit more informal and usually just have me and maybe some other students in to share their experiences as well. And those are the 4th Friday morning of each month from 11 a.m. to noon. Though we might run a little bit short today just because of a couple other restraints. And again, those are a little bit more informal just to give you more helpful information from like an advising perspective. Now on the bottom there, I have a few examples of events we've held in the past. So I mentioned earlier stress management, career services. We also had a scholarship session, which focused on how to apply for the scholarships within Wayne State, because that process can get a little confusing and intimidating. So again, if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to hear about, let me know and I can try to incorporate that into an event. I also hold weekly open office hours. Those have been on hold for about 2 weeks now because of technology concerns, but they're going to be coming back pretty soon here. And I have those every Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. through Zoom. And this is just a great way for you to stop in with a quick question. If you can't get an appointment for whatever reason, or you think of something, or you just want to say hi, that's fine too, I'm here. I use the waiting room feature, so you'd be the only student talking to me at a given time. It's like if you went to your professor's office hours and you wait outside until your turn. I keep that waiting room feature so that you can feel like you can definitely have a more private conversation if some of the information you're sharing you don't want everyone to know about. And you never have to use video if you don't want to. Whatever is most comfortable for you. And of course, if those times don't work for you, you're always welcome to shoot me an email or set up an appointment to find some time for us to chat too. Another great feature of working with me is I can help you access a dedicated financial aid officer. So a lot of us have potentially some negative experiences with financial aid in the past. And so to keep you from getting bounced around is to make sure you get all of your questions answered. We work one-on-one with a specific financial aid officer. Her name is Daisy Cordero. And I can connect you with her when you have financial aid questions. Um, I like to be kind of an intermediary there for at least the beginning, so that we can make sure she gets all the information she needs for me to answer your questions. That way there's not as much back and forth. She and I work pretty closely together, but she's a great resource because she will always be the one following up with you. You never have to call just the general financial aid line and wait for 10, 20 hour, whatever, to get your questions answered. So she's a great person to have on your side advocating for you. So I like to connect my students with her to get their questions answered. And one point I strongly encourage you to have a FAFSA on file before you meet with her. Otherwise, she can't see any of your information or help you with anything. And generally, it can take up to 2 weeks from submission for waiting to process your application. And the current FAFSA is best. Sometimes in these summer months, we can get in between 2 FAFSAs, but we'll do what we can to work with you. And one more note on that, we're actually going, our next Tuesday talk in July is going to be with financial aid and with Daisy, so she can talk more about financial aid, FAFSA, especially in light of COVID-19 and the pandemic and resources that may be available there. So keep an eye out for that. I also publish monthly during the regular academic school year, a monthly newsletter called The Returning Warrior. And this is just another way for you to get some highlights about some deadlines coming up, some workshops you might be working on, given the time of year, some things you should be thinking about. And so this is an example of this is the newsletter from February 2020. So you can see we have a spotlight on here, one of our students, Ashley Ramirez. She has a really great story to share there. I also had a column below that about applying for scholarships through Wayne State, why that's important. And in February, that's important because March 1st was the deadline. So I want to give you timely information, next thing you need to complete so you don't have to keep track of quite so many things. I also, along in that same vein, have check-in throughout the semester regarding academics and financial aid. So if there's a deadline coming up that you should know about, like the deadline to register for classes, the deadline to drop classes, financial aid deadlines, it's something that's kind of the greater good of the group. You'll likely get emails from me about it, just giving you a heads up, remember this is happening. I don't inundate you, so it's not like you're getting something from me every day. It's usually maybe 1 or 2 times a week. So keep an eye out for those emails from me and be sure to read those because it's all good information. I don't want to inundate you with a bunch of superfluous information that wouldn't really benefit you as an adult student. I also host our Facebook page, which is, I strongly recommend liking and following it because that's where I post more and share more information about larger things in the community, like in the Detroit community. We're doing some partnerships there that might provide some resources. If there's, from time to time, new scholarships pop up from different departments, so I'll generally share that information there because there's more of a quick turnaround. Reminders about our events like our Tuesday talks and Friday chats. If there's another event on campus that might be especially beneficial to you as an adult student, I'll share it there. We've also put up job postings. Some employers will reach out to us and specifically interested in adult students. And so we want to share that information with you as well. Now, it is the Warrior Way Back Facebook page, but it's not just for Warrior Way Back students. So Warrior Way Back is that specific debt forgiveness program, but that's just one facet of our larger adult student community. So even if you're not doing the Warrior Way Back program because you don't have an outstanding debt, you are more than welcome and encouraged to join that community on Facebook. So the best way right now to chat with me is to schedule an appointment or email me. Just the reality of the pandemic, I'm home with 2 little kids, and so it can be really difficult for me to answer a phone call if it's not scheduled. A lot of times I don't know who's calling and I have a crying child or 2, and so it's easier for me if you can set up an appointment or email me. With an email, I can answer that at 2 o'clock in the morning if that's when I have some time. And an appointment, I can make sure to have somebody else on call to help me so I can dedicate that time to you. I don't want us to start a call and you to take time out of your workday for me to get pulled away by a kid. So My email is on the screen as well as my phone number. Feel free to leave a message and the appointment link there as well, so you can book me. You can also schedule with me through Advising Works if your access ID is ready. You'll just have to search for the Worry Way Back program. But you don't need that with the You Can Book Me link. And then our website below for the Worry Way Back program. Following up from here, we do have a couple more events coming up throughout the summer. So like I said, our next event is in July. It's a Tuesday talk with financial aid about FAFSA and financial aid during the pandemic. And we have another Friday talk later in July, and some more events in August as well. So you'll be getting some emails about those and reminders through Facebook and through the other veins as well. Again, if you have any suggestions for events or things you'd like to learn more about, please let me know because I'm happy to facilitate those. Did you have any other questions, anyone?
I do, Amber.
Yeah.
My question is, I work for Wayne State, so I'm not sure if I actually would qualify for the Wayne back program because I probably don't fit the specific criteria for the program.
Okay.
So